How's it going? Jack here again with another Loopy Pro video. Today we're going to start building a template from scratch. I've previously shared my template that I use in all of my other videos. People have been downloading that, having a bit of fun with it. But a few people have asked how they might go about building their own template because the needs that I have for a template may not match what you have, and understanding some of the functionality and how to edit things can really help. So this is going to be a series. We are going to go through the very basics and then build things up. Hopefully I can do some demonstrations as we go. Today is just going to be about setting up the basic inputs, some hardware inputs, so a microphone input and a guitar input, and then a few record options we've got, how we can loop things, how we can get things going, and how we can route things. So before we get going, if you could please like and subscribe to this video if you find it useful, I would really appreciate it, as I'm just trying to grow this channel. Anyway, let's get into it and start building a template. So this is the main Loopy Pro blank template that you get when you start a new project. You can see these colorful clips that we record, but we're going to start by pressing the mixer button. Now I have already configured the microphone so that I can record this video and talk to you, otherwise you wouldn't hear me, but I'll show you the steps that I took to do that in a second. So I'm going to be clicking in the bottom left hand corner where it opens the mixer. Now here you can see the mixer, and we have got on the far left my inputs, hardware inputs. Then you have the different clip colors, and I will explain how they work shortly. This video is assuming that you already know how to get audio into your iPad. So my microphone here and my guitar is plugged into an audio interface. The audio interface that I use is an RME Babyface Pro FS. Bit of a mouthful. It's a great audio interface, but any class compliant audio interface will work. But if you don't understand how to configure one of those, maybe watch a different video on that before we get going. But I'm assuming you can get audio into your iPad. So once that's going, there's a little plus button in the bottom right hand corner here. If I press that, it gives us our options. We can add a hardware input, an audio unit input, an inter-app audio input, a MIDI, a bus, or a color. Now the one we want to focus on right now, if for this tutorial, is going to be hardware inputs. So if I press add a hardware input, you can see the options that I have available for my audio interface. So you can see the Babyface Pro there. You can see I've got 6 inputs available. I can have them as stereo, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Now, I have a HX Stomp, which is hooked up to my guitar, and that is plugged in to channel 3 and 4 on the RME Babyface Pro. So if I select 3 and 4, it will create that channel for me. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the channel I had set up a minute ago when I was playing around with this template. But now that channel 3 and 4 you can see here, if I click on it at the top, I can label that by clicking the little pencil, and we're going to write guitar. Done. Okay, now let's see if that's giving us some sound. So here is my guitar going in to Loopy Pro. So all sounding pretty nice and finding its way into Loopy Pro. Now you can see my talk mic here bouncing away on the mixer. To create that, all I did was the same steps. Press the plus button, add a hardware input, and I chose channel 1. I'm not going to do that again because it's already set up, and you should get the idea there. Now along that channel, my microphone channel, if we have a look there, you can see 2 effects that I have added. Okay, I have added, I'll click on the first one, an EQ, and this EQ is the FabFilters Pro Q3, but the built-in EQ within Loopy Pro would work as well. I have just chosen to use this one, so choose the one that you've got or the one that you like. And a typical thing on vocals is to get rid of some of the unwanted low end. Here I'm sort of shelving down from 80 Hertz. I've scooped out a little bit around the 200 Hertz range, and then just a gentle increase to add a little bit of high end. I haven't really spent ages doing that. I did that 2 minutes ago. So my actual template, again, you can download my template in the description below. I have configured things a little bit more in detail, but this is just to show you what to do. Let's close that. I've then added a compressor. This is the FabFilter Pro C2. And I've been lazy and I've just selected a preset. This preset is called Punchy Vocals, which you can choose all manner of presets up here within FabFilter's Pro C2. All right, so at this point, we've got a microphone. We have got a guitar, and both things are coming into Loopy Pro. Now, the most important thing I think when you're getting going is choosing what clips you want your hardware inputs to record to. So I don't want my vocals being recorded when I am recording the guitar part. That'll be some background noise. You can hear me breathing quite a lot of the time. And I don't want all of that mess being recorded. Sometimes I might even be talking to myself, and I don't want to get that recorded. So right now, if I was to record a clip, okay, so I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to press this first orange clip on the screen here. I'm going to record a guitar part in, and you know, you should be able to hear my vocals on top of that as well. So let's just try that. 1, 2. One, two. Okay, so you get the idea. I can record vocals and guitar right now to this orange clip. To clear that clip, by the way, I dragged to the left and it gave me the option to clear a clip. Also, I can swipe quickly across the screen, a long swipe, and the same thing will disappear. So let's go back into the mixer and think about recording certain things to certain colors. So right now I'm going to select the microphone and I am going to click none where it says destination. So my microphone was being sent to orange, yellow, lime, blue and magenta because they are the color clips that come default with the template. I only want my vocals just for this demonstration to go to magenta, which is the last clip on the right. Okay, so now it will not be recorded to any other clip. So if I am recording, what's this, orange, yellow, green or blue, it is not going to record to there. The guitar, however, I use my guitar to record a fake bass line using this little bass patch that I've got here. I quite often do that, and I will layer different guitar parts up. So I want to say let's just choose 3 different clip options. So I'm going to go for orange, yellow and lime, and I'm going to just deselect blue and magenta. Excuse me. So now we are set up to record guitar to these 3. The blue one we're just not going to use for today's video. I'm going to build this template up over time. It's very complicated, so we need to just take it one stage at a time. So now, how are we going to record? Well, if I just pressed record on the first clip, it is going to try and automatically sense how long my clip is. So I might record for 2 bars, 4 bars, etc. Loopy Pro is very clever, and it is going to try and figure out how long my loop is. So why don't I try that now? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see Loopy Pro's done a good job of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So a 2-bar loop. And on top of that now, you know, you can jam in your typical fashion. I can record that into this second clip. And it's going to default to that 2-bar length. get the idea. We can start to loop straight out of the bat. Okay, let's clear some of these clips. So I am clicking each one, swiping away. And we now have a blank template again. Okay, now that works, but I don't really like that. I like to have it very rigid. I don't want the chance of me messing it up live, which I definitely do. So let's just start with the first customization that we're going to do, which is going to be setting the master loop length by a length that we want. So I'm going to set it up so that 1 bar, 2 bars, 4 bars, or 8 bars, just for today. And I'm going to show you how to do that so that it will always start recording and it will always end recording exactly at the loop length that I choose. To do this, we're going to have to set a tempo for our metronome as well. So what am I talking about? Well, let's configure our template. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go to the little pencil icon in the bottom left-hand corner. We're going to select that. And this is the edit page where we can configure Loopy Pro in a whole bunch of awesome ways. We can add buttons to trigger plugins, effects, change the loop length like we're going to look at now, tap tempo, all of these cool things. So the one thing I really like to have is the ability to set loop length. So to do that, we're going to click this third from the right-hand side, third in from the right, this button grid. And you can see this here. We're going to choose radio buttons. If we then click on that, you can see all of these configurable options, right? Loopy Pro is extremely powerful and it can get complicated, so hopefully this will help a little bit. Let's just go for these grid options along the top. I'm just going to select these 4 here. Okay, so button 1, let's call that 1 bar. Button 2 is going to be 2 bars. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go 4 bars. And then 8 bars. Okay. Now we need to add an action for each one of those buttons. So if I click on the 1 bar, the plus icon, I'm going to click select. So whenever we select this button, it's going to do something. So let's click select. And what we're looking for here is the master. So I'm going to start typing in master. And as you can see, within a couple of characters, we have set master length. So let's click that one. And we are going to click set. You've got multiply, set, and copy. We're going to click set. And the value that we want is 1, right? So if we click back, that should be done. Now, I could do that same step for every single one of those, and it wouldn't really take too long. But just a bonus little tip, if I click and hold on where it says set master length to 1 bar, I can copy that to the clipboard. I can then click and hold on the 2 bar, click paste, 4 bar paste, and on the 8 bar paste. Now, it's going to do the same thing, right? So we do need to go in and edit each one. If we click the 2 bar option and change that to 2, 4 bar, change that to 4, and 8 bar, change that to 8. Okay, so we should have, if we click the pencil icon now and close the edit page, we've got our donuts, the clips along the top. We have got our loop length. Now, we're going to have to press play and start the clock to see if this will work. Okay, and when I press play, it's saying set tempo. Okay, so I'm going to click that, I'm going to set the tempo. And we're going to set the tempo to something random. Let's just go 120, pretty typical, okay? Now you'll see on here, we can select the bar length at the top, okay? And that works absolutely fine. And you should see just in the bottom left-hand corner that that is changing color as well. So let's just go with 1 bar here, close that out, and we can select our bar length as we go. Now, we're going to press play. Now, you can't hear this right now, but that has put a metronome in my ears. 1, 2, 3, 4 at 120 BPM. Okay, so let's give this a go. If I press play on the clock, that tempo that we set as 120 BPM is now playing in my headphones. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. and we are going to set a loop length that we want. So let's go for, I don't know, maybe 4 bars. I've got my nice clean sound on the guitar, and I'm just going to make up a chord progression in the key of E major. Let's see how that goes. So it should start looping on the next one of the bars. So at the moment I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're off, it's looping. So maybe record a bass line on top of that. And that's now looping. Figure out on something else to play on the top. Maybe we change it to 1 bar and loop over the top of that. And you're looping. Nothing amazing here, but it's a lot of fun. If you just want to practice your guitar, you could record in a loop and have some fun. Let's bring that chord progression back in, or bass line I should say. So that is how you set up your microphone and your guitar into Loopy Pro. That's how you set the master loop length. You can set that on the fly if you configure it in your template as well. There is so much Loopy Pro can do. There is no way I can cover it in one video. So this is going to be the first in a series of Loopy Pro tutorials. Please check out some of my other videos where I demonstrate Loopy Pro in a slightly more advanced manner than I am doing today. This is just to get people going that want to just get into Loopy Pro and get set up. Next time, we're going to bring in some synth. We are going to start customizing this template a little bit each week so that it becomes a really full-fledged and fully featured template that makes the iPad the most powerful looping choice in my opinion. So things like the Boss RC600 I owned. I thought it was a fantastic unit. I think it's great. But just using that tiny little digital screen and the flexibility of what I wanted to do just wasn't there. So once I found Loopy Pro, I've been very happy and I'm still learning every day. So if anyone's got any extra tips and things, of course, let me know in the comments below. So listen guys, I really hope that was helpful. This is just the first in the series. This is just getting you into Loopy Pro, set up with some channels, looping different loop lengths, start having some fun with that, start playing around. I'll put a link in the description below to both this template that you can get for free if you just want to have a look and copy my settings, as well as there's a link to my fully featured template, again, completely free. Just go and download that. I'll see you in the next video for more Loopy Pro tutorials. Have a great week and I will see you next time. And I'm just going to have a quick jam. 1, 2, 3, 4.